Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to your seats. The show is about to begin.
Well, hey there, Littermates. Welcome back to Boss Kitty Live. I'm your host, Boss Kitty. Oh my gosh, this thing is so dumb. Let's see if this works now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to Boss Kitty Live. I'm your host, Boss Kitty. Happy Wednesday. I hope you all have been having a really, really great week. It feels like it's kind of flown by, honestly. Not sure what that's about, but I'm all for it. I am going in tomorrow into Portland to get my nuts touched up. It's finally time for my touch up that I haven't had yet. I had to reschedule at one point in time, so it'll be great, right? You're gonna mess with it again? Oh, this one right here is my problem child. So, well, hello to everybody. Kitten Mittens, Crocheted Hook, Elizabeth McInnes, Marie, everybody who's out there. Moonbow, I saw you're going to be dreaming about yarn. To our new folks, as always, thank you for being a friend. We're so happy you're here with us. Just so you're aware, we do a game every half an hour or so. So the first round will be in about 15 minutes, and then we will do it at 6:45, 7:15, and 7:45, and then we have a show and tell at the end of the show, right after that last round of Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. And so if you head over to our Discord, there is a section that says show and tell, and you put your finished objects in there, your works in progress, anything you're proud of. It doesn't have to be fiber arts related. You're still working on your mom's poncho, but you got the yarns once done. Oh, perfect for the yeah, for sure. Hello, Miss Laura Bronner. Did you hack the Pantone color of this year vote? She 100% did. Is it pink? It's got to be pink, right? You love the new background. Thank you. So can you guys see this picture right here? This thing right here that you can't see very well? One of my friends commissioned an artist who's amazing. She was by Corrupted Page to do a group piece of all of our characters. This is like my prized possession right now. And I get to share it with you guys. Okay. My braces are doing well, Moonbow. They still haven't fixed that one bracket, but I'm not too worried about it at this point. As promised, we're going to continue on with our knitting tutorial. So you guys, we just got into the purl stitch last Wednesday. So I think we're going to go ahead and continue with that purl stitch. I have not learned the new purl stitch you guys were telling me about, but I'll figure that out eventually. But I'm going to go ahead and continue to show that to you. So let's just go to our workspace. Perfect. So I went ahead and did a few stitches on here. I went to the Dollar Tree to get knitting needles, and I'm trying to make a hat. Good luck to you. Oh my gosh, it's going to look great. You're working on a herringbone stitched queen size blanket. And let me tell y'all, it is a lot of herringbone is hard. It cramps the hands. There's so much going on there. It's a beautiful stitch. It's really firm. It's got a little cush to it, but especially if you're doing it on bigger needles. I made a herringbone baby blanket, I think it was, for a display piece for a shop I used to work at, and it was on size 15 needles, I think. Oh my god, it hurts so bad to work on those. Hey Brittany, how are you? So I did a few rows because I wanted to show you guys the difference. Remember we were talking about a stockinette stitch versus a garter stitch, and how a garter stitch was just where you knit both rows, right? You knit both sides, and so this is the knit stitch down here, and then this is the back side of the knit stitch on the back side. So this is considered a purl stitch technically, and then this divot is the front side, this is the back side. This is what it looks like when all you do is knit the front and purl the back. You get this really nice V stockinette stitch, and this is really the most traditional look to knitted fabric that people see. This is generally what you see that machines make, you know, and it's your most basic stitch, pretty much. It's just the knitting the front and purling the back. How's the new kitty? You haven't been here for a while. Well, Josie, it's so good to see you have some confetti, dear. She's doing really well. We took her to the vet yesterday. Was it yesterday? It had to be yesterday. And she is, maybe it was the day before yesterday. I don't freaking remember at this point. Oh, no, it was the day before yesterday, I think. She's 5.8 pounds or something like that. She's getting a little chunky. I mean, she's not getting chunky. She's just big for her size, or for her age, because she's only like 4.5 months old. Okay. Wait, Yarn Pirate, did you get the new job? What? I'm so excited. Okay, so let me get through this knit row, and then we'll get right into the pearls. So just a quick reminder for you, and I'm holding my yarn continentally. You've got your needle. It's going to go through the front, right? You're going to come underneath that piece of yarn, grab it with your pointer finger, and then bring it back through the loop and release the loop off the left-hand needle. If you missed last Wednesday's show, that was the first half of our basic knitting tutorial, and if you really want to look into that, I highly recommend watching last Wednesday's Wildcard Wednesday. It's called Nitty Gritty, so on and so forth. I think it's episode 52. Yeah, it would be number 52. So it's through the front, underneath, grab it with your pointer finger and slide it back through. And I'm not going to stay on the knit stitch for too long because you guys have already seen me do it, but I will do it throwing again just as a nice quick reminder. So through the front, grab your working yarn, bring it underneath the right hand needle and over the top, then hold it with that pointer finger. That's the trick here. And bring it back through the loop, release off the left hand needle. And you'll find that you end up, see how I'm holding that yarn in my hand still? You'll find that that's what you end up doing. A lot of people do. Because that way you're not trying to pick it up and pick it up and pick it up. It gets very repetitive and a little tedious and kind of clunky. Hold on. Turned in your resignation today. It felt so good. Oh my gosh. That is fantastic. I'm so excited for you. No, she's going to be a mod forever. She doesn't know it yet, but that's what's happening here. She will forever be a mod. Forever. Well, hey there, Jamie Wheeler. How are you? Jinxie Doll, hello. You're all stuck with me. Vicky, it's good to see you. Should we clue BK in? What are we cluing me in on? I'm so confused right now. What did I miss out on? Okay. So we've done our knit stitches. We good. We're going to flip it over. Now here's the part that a lot of you were struggling with, understandably, because purl stitches are difficult. They're very awkward, right? So you want to take, you've got your needle with all of the stitches in your left hand. You've got your working needle. It's empty in the right hand. Nightbot will never let her go. Nightbot loves her. Okay, so we're going to come in from the left hand side, or the right hand side to the left hand side through the front, like so. Boop, boop, boop. We're going to take our yarn, because it's in the front now, it's not in the back. We're going to go over the top and behind that, that needle. And the trick here is you want to really anchor this piece of yarn down as best as you can, because you have to get it through this loop, right? So me personally, I like to hold my yarn continentally, as you know. I come through the front. I use my whole hand. I come over the top, and then I've wrapped it kind of, watch what happens with my finger. I come over the top, but it's also kind of wrapping again over my finger, and that way I can hook it down like this, because then I take my pointer finger and I just pull down like this. And then I can manipulate this right hand needle to come up and back through that loop, and then release it. So like that, over the top, anchor it, and through. Just like that. I'm going to do something though. It's going to look weird. Actually, I'll do it on the, no, I'll do it now. Oops, I knit two together. Totally didn't mean to do that. That was an accident. Oh no. Oops, I have a yarn over. Whatever will I do? So let's just get through this real quickly. So once again, it's going to be from the right to the left, over the top and down, and then just anchor it and bring it through. And really, it's just going to take practice, kiddos. Sassy pants are bust. Okay, hold on. I got to get caught up now. Oh my God, French bread sounds so good. I got to keep telling myself that I don't need to learn a new craft. It's so tempting. It's So, new crafts are the best, seriously. I am going to be fostering a smallish loom. So we will be learning how to weave on Boss Kitty Live. It will be a Wildcard Wednesday thing. I'm going to actually have to teach myself first, though, so that I'm not confusing you guys as well. But keep your eyes open for that. We might test it out for the patrons first, so they might get exclusive content there. But we'll see. I'm very excited about it. Leela Bluepins, hello, welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. So yeah, we're talking about new hobbies. We're getting a loom in the house. I'm fostering a loom for a little bit. You've been having cast on fever, starting so many projects. I'm all for new projects. Like, I'm so close to done with the make-along right now. Like, one sleeve is almost done, and then I have to do the other one. And you guys know how I feel about having to repeat a thing. Like, second sock syndrome, second sleeve syndrome is a real thing, too. But I just want to cast on that hexy cardigan, right? The hexagon cardigan. I don't remember what it's called. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. It's just so bright and fun looking, and I know I can't. I have to be responsible. I have to finish what I've started, like a good Girl Scout. What's up, TK? Oh, what a great point. He's so smart. So yeah, I've mentioned patrons twice on this show tonight, but I have not mentioned Saturday. Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, we have a patron-only exclusive event. I don't know why I said patron-only exclusive. That's the same thing. We're doing the next installment of our Fleece to Finish project. We will be spinning up some Shetland wool that we have. We went and picked up. We've skirted it. We've washed it. We washed it again. We carded it a few times. We've dyed it, and now, well, we dyed it and then carded it, and now we're going to spin it up. So that will be this Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, right here on Boss Kitty Live for our patrons. So if you're interested in that, head over to our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/BossKitty, and you can sign up at any level. All of those have that the availability to watch that, and you'll have access to all the VODs of the other installments, in case you wanted to watch those as well. Oh, that was a mouthful. Also, you guys have 4 minutes until our first round of Wheel Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. You have to be a subscriber and chatting it up with us in order to be eligible. And I will tell you, the new dad jokes are on the wheel, you guys. I'm so excited. I'm also a little terrified of them because they embarrass me. You say, okay, now. Just like the song from Encanto. I just cannot unhear it. I've only ever seen that movie once. I know, it's so beautiful, Moonbow. You're doing your cozy hexie-cardy nice and squishy. I think I would wear that everywhere. You're a long-time crocheter, but you're learning to knit. Oh my gosh, Crafty Girl, congratulations. But I love it, but I'm having a hard time learning to fix mistakes and getting tension right. Funny you should mention that. We're actually going to go over how to fix mistakes and how to see your mistakes. As far as tension goes, that's just going to be practice the same way it is with crochet. Eventually, you're going to get used to holding your yarn and needles, and it's just going to kind of even out and go with the flow. But I will tell you, your tension still changes no matter what at all times. Like, if I'm angry and I'm knitting, my tension's tighter. If I'm high and I'm knitting, my tension's looser. Not that I partake. No, you're not. If I'm using wooden needles, then I have different tension than metal needles. It depends on what you're doing. So take all those things into account for sure. To a dad joke for farts and giggles. Hopefully we'll land on one. We only have a certain amount of them, and once I show them, they're off the wheel. You love making hexie-cardies. You've made 3 so far. Miss Monster, you've got a heating pad designed to drape over your shoulders like a little cape, and oh my god, that sounds amazing. Hi, Lillian. How are you? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and knit our next stitches. We're just going to knit blindly along here. Like it's no big deal. Just like that. La, la, la. Maybe not that one. La, 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 la. We're not really paying attention to anything, so we don't see that big hole right there. Pretend it's not there. What? Oh. Look out for the big hole. You're very, very funny. So we're just going to keep knitting. I need to do a few rows before I can show you guys how to read this and fix it. Okay. Probably only 2 rows, honestly. So have you watched Wednesday all the way through? I really loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's very cute. Oh, by the way, if I have any critters out there, and I know that there's at least a handful of them, did you guys see the Amazon released info today that they are doing Mighty 9 series to go with Vox Machina? Yeah. They're doing multiples, but the first one is going to be the Mighty 9 series. Just slow your roll. There'll be movies. Yes, I know. I don't remember what the name of the new production company was, but you're not speaking loud enough for other people to hear the other side of this conversation, sir. Metapigeon is the name of their production company. That's pretty fantastic. You love the pumpkin orange. We got this for TK when he was learning how to crochet. Do you know what time it is, you guys? I'm so all over the place. Wheel of goodies and goof 'em ups just for you guys. Okay. Let's do this. Sorry, JK, I can't help it with my okays. But now I'm thinking about them. So I'm going to come over here. You also forgot that there's a lot of critters here. Jinxie, oh my gosh, I got goosebumps this morning when I read that and listened to the little bit that they did. Oh. Honestly, I love Vox Machina, but Mighty 9 is where it's at as far as I'm concerned. It's like, you know, the peak of everything for them. I thought it's just so good. Okay, Vicky C, congratulations. You are our first contestant on the Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. That is so exciting. Let's get this wheel open for you. Hello, wheel. How are you? So for those of you who have no idea what this is our beautiful wheel created by TK. And it's got a lot of stuff on it. We've got Blinky rolls, we've got Game Over, we've got $10 Ravelry patterns, $5 Ravelry patterns. I can't speak. Yarn Tarot, free shipping in domestic and international, dad jokes, and adject animal sounds. Did I catch everything? Oh, and merch codes. I always forget the merch codes. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and spin this wheel for you, Vicky, and we're going to see what you won. So excited. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with you, wheel? No.
Game over.
Oh, that's unfortunate. We'll get out of here for another half hour. I don't want to look at your face right now.
Goodbye.
Vicky, I'm so sorry. The good news is it does mean that you are eligible to play again on Monday. And as always, we are thrilled that you are a subscriber here and part of the BK fam. So thank you so much. What are you doing?
Thank you for being
there we go. Let's get that in there for you. I know the wheel is just being a jerk now. It's like you have new shiny stuff on here. I don't want you to be able to see it. Do you want me to stay here? Cool. Let Mittens have a round with it. Yeah, Mittens should beat up the wheel. I think that's a great idea. Mittens, get right on that. You enjoyed the little bits of crit roll that you were able to watch, but you just got too long for you. Super duper. Then I definitely recommend, if you've got Amazon Prime or know somebody who does, watching the series over there, because they've compacted at least the first, you know, the Vox Machina stuff into normal size episodes of a show. So you're not sitting for 4.5, 5 hours. That's mine and TK's date night. That's what we do on Thursday nights. Okay, so this is your knitting, right? And you're looking at it and you're like, it looks so good. What happened? There's like something funky going on right here. I got this big hole here. Oh my gosh, I can't knit. This is stupid. I just want to throw it away. Don't do that. You're doing great. You're reading your knitting for one thing. You're looking at it and you're knowing that there's something wrong here and that there's something wrong here. And if you're not sure, you can always count your stitches. So we started with, I think, like 15 stitches. Let's see what we've got now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, we started with 13 stitches and we've got 15 now. So we have, nope, we started with 15. We still have 15, but that's because I decreased one here and I increased one here. I didn't think that through. Anyway, you can look at this to figure out exactly what you did. So if we look at this hole as an example, you've got the hole right here, but you've got 2 stitches up here. So what that tells us is that this is where this stitch was created. It was right where this hole is. And what you've done there is you've created a yarn over. And that's actually a pretty fancy stitch. It's what people use to make lace patterns. So good on you. It's just in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is really easy to fix. as long as you're not super, super far up. It's really easy to fix without having to pull all your work out. This one over here, if you take a look at it, you can follow the lines, right? Like this looks really funky. And so if you come and you follow it down, this is one stitch all the way. And then right here, it looks like it splits into two. And that's because that's exactly what that does. These two stitches were accidentally stitched together right here and became one stitch. So as long as you're looking at the pattern itself, your fabric, really looking at it, you can usually follow with a stockinette at least, these V stitches to see what's going on. So let's go ahead and fix this. Weirdness, love it. Hey Oni, how are you? The wheel really does need a timeout. We're not friends right now. Mittens is probably, he's probably been bribing the wheel. So you don't even have to pull these out. Like we don't have to tink, which is knitting backwards, or frog it, rip it, right? We can just continue in our pattern until we get to that tricky little stitch right there. This one right here is going to be the easiest one to fix. This guy right here, I've got 2 rows with this extra stitch and a hole right here. All I have to do to fix this is drop that stitch off my needle and loose it and leave it alone. Now you're going to have a ton of extra yarn right here because you've had an extra stitch there for the past 2 rows. This can be kind of evened out in a lot of cases. In this case, because the needles are so big, it probably can't, but we'll look at that here in a second. So that's all you have to do to fix a yarn over. And I only recommend that if it's 1 or 2 stitches below, because then it's not quite enough yarn yet to make it an issue and make your tension look funky. This one right here is a little bit trickier. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to drop this all the way down to where it turned into 1 stitch. So you want it to become 2 stitches again. So we're going to just release these gently, like so. And then we've got our 2 stitches. There they are, right there, right? So I'm going to take both these stitches and I'm going to put them back over here on my left-hand needle. And I'm just securing them. But I have all of these ladders right here. Do you see these? These are each a stitch. There's 2 stitches actually, one for each of these. Now, remember when we made an extra stitch, how we had way too much yarn? Well, we decreased a stitch on the same row and we have probably not enough yarn. So this will probably even itself out, and we'll show you how to do that in a second when all is said and done. So the way that you fix this, there's a ton of different ways to fix this because you want to basically pick up each one of these ladders as a stitch. So the easiest way is with a crochet hook. Go figure. We're going to bring our crochet hook through the front of the loop, of the first loop of the stitch. And we're going to grab that first ladder and we're just going to bring it through. And we've created that stitch. That's that knit stitch. So we're going to do it again right here and just bring it through one more time. Bring it through. And then I'm going to put this on the right hand needle just for the moment to keep it secure. And now we're going to do the same thing with this one. And you can see this is what I've got left right here to work with. So I'm through the front of the loop. I'm going to come underneath that ladder and bring it through the loop. Now that's the new loop. I come underneath the next ladder, bring it through that loop. That's the new loop. And then we're going to do it one more time right here. So we've gone ahead and we have fixed all of our issues, but our tension is a hot mess right now, and we will fix that as soon as I get through this row. There's a ruler type device you can get at Joann's that has holes in it for each size. That's to figure out what size needles you're using for sure. Oh my gosh, Oni, you've been knitting the whole entire time. Did you actually have COVID or were you just exposed to it? You have some knitting needles 30 plus years. How can you figure out their size? Michaela, she's right. You can actually get a device that will tell you what size they are. You can get them at your local yarn shop or Joann's. They're usually like a wooden square or a plastic ruler, and they have different holes in them. And then the size above it. And whichever hole that fits snugly into is the hole that is the size of your needle. Sounds so dirty. So we've got some stitches over here that are a little more tight than we want them to be. And then we've got some stitches over here that are really loosey-goosey. We understand why, but we want to fix it. So all of these are connected to each other, right? Same thing with crochet. But like if I pull on this stitch here, these 2 stitches are going to get tighter, right? So if I take this stitch right here and I yank on it, and I take this one and I yank on it, and this one, and I just kind of work it and manipulate it all the way down here, and have it even itself out basically. So we're just going to sit here and pull on stuff. That's all it is. You're just pulling on stuff until it looks good again. And it might, in some cases like this, it might take a little bit of time to do. It's totally worth it. I mean, in this case, it's only 2 rows down, so maybe you would have just gone down the 2 rows, like frogged it and you know, gone down to fix it that way. That's always a possibility. But really, if you're looking at multiple rows and you're trying to fix things like this works just fine. So normally I would use a tapestry needle in this case, but I'm being really lazy at the moment. And I mean, it takes some time for sure. That's a little bit better. I would probably want it even more. So I'm going to yank on this one a little bit and then yank here. Don't be afraid to yank. Seriously, you're not going to hurt anything. If this is going to break your yarn, then you were screwed from the very beginning, quite frankly. Your yarn wasn't going to last you. Okay. So you see how what we've done is we've taken that extra yarn that was over here and we've brought it over to that really tight area where we needed the extra yarn. So it kind of works out in this particular case. That's not always how it works, but you can usually distribute that extra yarn into other stitches so that it's not even noticeable. And if you block your item afterwards, it's even less noticeable. So as you can see, this looks much better. Check that out, right? I mean, there's still a little bit of tension issues right here, but once again, if I just yank on a few things here and there and, you know, do this, it'll all even itself out. It's not a big deal. So that's how you would fix a stitch like that. Now, here's the next thing. You're knitting, you're knitting, you're knitting, and everything falls off your needles. Don't freak out. It's okay. I can sit here and do this and nothing's going to happen. Look, those stitches are still there. I mean, I've got one row that might have come out a little bit. They want to stay together. Yarn is sticky most of the time. Bamboo, silk, you might have a little bit of a problem with, but things like this, not a problem. Acrylic and wool, it wants to stick together. Mohair for sure. So when you lose stitches like this, all you need to do is take your needle and slide it back through. That's it. And if you lose a stitch, like if it drops down, don't worry about it. Like this one right here, oh no, it dropped down. We'll fix it. I don't care how you get them on there. I don't care if they're backwards, because that happens. You just slide all your stitches back on. Just like this. I'm so happy you finally made your first practice sock. Congratulations, and it fits. Hot damn. Can't wait to use my Boss Kitty yarn to make a pair. Woohoo. Lillian, exactly, right? Oh my gosh, abuse your yarn. Okay, so we've got all these stitches back on here. And if we look at the back, we can see that we've actually dropped a few stitches. We've dropped this stitch right here. We've dropped this stitch right here. And we can tell because there's the stitch. And our yarn is sitting right here, so none of these have actually been knit now. The easiest way to fix that one is just to slide these guys over like so. Oh, by the way, this stitch is on here backwards. You can tell because this loop, this side of the loop, this leg, the right hand leg, needs to be turned to the front, and it was turned towards the back. So we'll just turn it around. That's all. Super simple. So we're going to go ahead and just slide back. In this case, it's probably easier just to slide back this row. I mean, if you've got like 100 stitches on here, then slide everything over and just fix the stitch like this, where you you know, pick up that drop stitch like we did before. But in this case, it was just a few stitches back. So you just slide back the row and then you just knit them again. Like so. Super easy peasy. Don't make me call Yarn Protective Services. Rat, that was fantastic. I loved it. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, that smells.
Katie didn't, though. Katie's rude sometimes. She's very judgmental. You guys have no idea what it's like in the dressing room. Hey, Rosie, how are you today? Polly Knits, it's good to see you. You've dropped some stitches on a stitch marker for later. Yeah, that's a big thing, too. And that thing I showed you where you do a yarn over and then you knit stitches up and then you drop down, there are actually some really cool patterns that call for that. Here, I'll show you how that would work. So Let's see here. Well, I don't actually have one on here. Let's pretend that this stitch stops right here. I mean, it's not going to have a hole there, but we'll pretend. So you yarned over way down here, let's say. Let's say this is where the stitch ends, okay? You yarned over way down there, and then the pattern calls for you to drop a stitch down. They do that so it looks like you have a run in your yarn, is what they're telling you to do. That's the whole reason for that. There's a lot of, I think you can do that in crochet too. I'm not sure how it would work in crochet. This is how you would do this with knitting needles, by the way. You just kind of take your right needle with the stitch on it. You come underneath that ladder, and then you take your left needle and bring that stitch over the top of the ladder stitch. This is why I recommend using a crochet hook, is because in the beginning, at least, it's much easier to maneuver. This can get a little tricky sometimes. There we go. That distressed look, exactly. The power of Christ compels you to detangle. Your knitting goal is to knit socks by the end of the year. I think that is a very realistic goal. I suspect that you'll be knitting socks by the middle of the year. No joke. You'll find that socks, you're going to do socks and you'll be like, oh my God, these are a breeze. I hate doing socks, but not everybody does. So we've learned the knit stitch. We've learned the purl stitch. You guys have learned how to cast on. You've learned how to pick up your stitches and how to read your knitting, which is really important. I'm going to show you how to cast off, but first I have to do this purl stitch, or this purl side first. Actually, before I do that, I'll show you one other thing. So I've shown you stockinette and I've shown you garter stitch. Rib stitch is where you have that like really stretchy. It's usually your cuffs, your collar, sometimes the band at the bottom of a sweater. For socks, it's usually at least the cuff of the sock, if not the whole sock. And the way that you create a rib stitch is that a purl stitch naturally just kind of wants to go in on itself. And knit stitches want to come up to the top. So when you do a knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, it kind of it becomes an accordion in on itself. And that's any combination of knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, knit 3, purl 1, anything like that where you've got that pattern going on, you're going to have a bit of that elasticity going on. Oh, that's a hard word with braces. Hot damn. Your goal is to finish your queen size blanket by the end of the year. It's for your parents. I absolutely believe you can do that. No problem. Just stick with it. You're working on your first sock, write me out. Matt, that's fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and start a rib stitch, basically. So we're going to purl 1, knit 1. Purl 1, knit 1. Purl 1, knit 1. You get the point here, right? Like what I'm doing back and forth and back and forth. And rib stitch really helps you practice reading your stitches, reading what a knit stitch looks like and reading what a purl stitch looks like, because almost every single pattern will tell you to knit your knits and purl your purls, or just knit 1, purl 1 across until you have however many rows or inches you need. They don't give you a lot of instruction for that. So we finished our first row of rib stitch, and if you look on this side, you can definitely tell a difference. You've got little bumps every other stitch, which would make sense. Those would be the knits on the back and the purls on the front. Is it possible to go through how to read a knit pattern? Yes, we can absolutely do that. I don't know if we'll get to that today. Do you think we could? I don't think so. I don't know if we can necessarily do that today, but if we run out of time for today to do that, we will do that next Wednesday. I like having these tutorials on Wednesdays. I think they're kind of fun. I think people enjoy them. So I'll find what I'll do. What I will do is I will go ahead and find a charted free pattern and a written free pattern so that I can actually share them with you guys legally. And we'll go over how to read those, what the abbreviations are, how to read the charts. I know that that's really hard for a lot of people. In the meantime, Raw, if you have an immediate need, feel free to message me privately and I can help you out with that. Just crocheting amigurumi tonight. I've forgotten how to knit. It was 15 years ago, but then you learned crochet. You never went back to knit. Willing to relearn. Rosie, we love and accept all of the fiber arts community and other communities too, honestly. So yeah, I think it's great that you know how to do both, that you have a preference for crochet, but that you're always willing to go back to knit. We will be crocheting the second half of the show, actually. Where is my straw? My straw is not quite tall enough for my bottle. It like just peeks out a little bit. Okay. So, and you've learned so much. Ashton, oh, I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so here we are. You're planning on making a bunch of small crochet bags for new LARPers. I love it, Super. You just got yarn for your first socks. It's a challenge working with tiny hooks. Tiny hooks, yeah, tiny hooks and tiny needles. They're a whole different ballpark, right? Like it's a different beast altogether. Okay, so you can see these little bumps everywhere, right? So we're gonna slide this over and you're gonna knit your knits and purl your purls. What I mean by that is the ones that are still laying nice and pretty, nice and even like they normally are, those are your knits, and then these bumps are your purls. So if I'm looking at this is a knit, so I'm going to knit it, and I come to this one and it's got a bump right there, so I'm going to bring my yarn to the front and I'm going to purl it. This one's a knit, so I'm going to bring my yarn to the back and I'm going to knit it. I bet you can figure out what the next one is. It's a purl. So the yarn comes to the front and I purl it. And when you purl, a lot of the time your yarn automatically goes to the back. So if I was to purl again, I'd have to bring it to the front again. So I'm going to knit, purl, knit, purl, and we'll just continue in that pattern. I mean, and that's the other thing. There is a repeating pattern. So even if you can't read it, once you get to the knit, purl, you know what the next one is. But I highly recommend learning to read your work, because that way, if you do make a mistake, and we all do, where you've purled a knit, you'll see it and you'll be able to recognize it. And you can see that there's definitely a different type of pattern that's going on here now. So we're going to do this for a few more rows. You hated it the first time, but now you love making socks. My goodness, my constant is a You know what? Everybody has their type that works for them, for sure. I had to learn how to throw my yarn. So, where the other way, where you hold it in your other hand, in order to do color work. And I know a lot of people can actually do continental color work, and blows my flipping mind. I have no idea how they do it. That is a completely different type of magic that I have not learned, or maybe I have not sacrificed the right yarn to the right fiber goddess. I have no idea, but it's just not something that I've ever been able to get down. Same with double knitting. Like I just cannot make it look good. It always looks like hot garbage. I mean, at least it's hot garbage and not cold garbage, but still, it just means it's extra stinky. Kelly, you want to learn how to make things for 1/3 scale. Could you give any suggestions how to resize down to that scale? Okay, so yes, that is really, it just comes down to trial and error and mathematics. I don't have a particular equation for you in that case, but you really need to figure out how many inches you want something to be, right? Like you need to figure out the size that you want it to be. So if you're trying to make it, a kid's sweater, right, then grab whatever kid you're trying to make it for and measure their measurements. Measure across their chest area, their arms, their hips, their neck, and then look at how many inches that is compared to how many inches the actual pattern is. You're going to want to swatch to figure out how many inches or how many stitches per inch your gauge is. And from there, that's where you figure out how many you're going to need for that sweater, right? Like if you're looking at a sweater that's 20 inches all around, it's not true, but it's just easy, right? 20 inches all around, like the circumference of it, if the front and back comes out to 20 inches, and you're doing 2 stitches per inch, right? Then to get that 20 inches, you're going to need to do 40 stitches, because that's going to give you those 20 inches. And so that's how you have to kind of figure that out. You can still follow the pattern, like where it tells you to, you know, do the arms as an example, or if there's a yoke, that type of thing. But really it's just figuring out your stitches per inch and figuring out how many you need for the smaller or larger size. Oh my gosh, Catherine, it's so good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you come by on Monday as well. Get a great night's sleep. I hope that makes sense. It can get kind of tricky. It can certainly, like, the math on it can really hurt your head after a while. There are calculators out there that can help with that though, for sure. But yeah, that's kind of where what it comes down to, is you just have to look at that. And a lot of the time you'll go, man, I don't have enough stitches per inch to be able to make this look as nice as this actual sweater does. So you need to go down a size in needles, or you need to go down a size in yarn or something. I mean, it's whatever. You kind of have to just manipulate it and mold it to what works for you. Would you suggest learning to knit or crochet for sparkle socks first time make? I would suggest either, honestly. It depends on the weight of the yarn. I know that Alt Knots has a really great crochet pattern that I have not tried out yet for socks, but I really want to, and that people rave about. I know that there are other crochet patterns out there for socks as well, but I also know that there are much more knitting patterns out there for socks, because I think crochet socks are a fairly new thing, which is great. But so it just depends on the weight of the yarn, what kind of design you're looking for, and which one you're more comfortable with. Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's really easy to follow, and that they just crochet up really fast. I hate knitting socks. Like, it is the bane of my very existence. Do you see this thing back here? That's it. That's the last. It's actually not the last sock I knit, but that thing right there, one sock. That's it. It's one and done. I hate it. I feel like it takes me forever. I'm never happy with my heel turns. We have some amazing sock knitters in here, though. Miss Monster is one of them. And people who knit socks and enjoy it, they're so good at it. I'm willing to try crocheting socks. I've never tried it. I feel like that's a different beast. So I'm willing to open up my heart to crocheting socks. But definitely everybody should try it for themselves. Some people are avid sock knitters. Some people, that's all they do. For 2 different weights of yarn, if I remember correctly. Casey, that's fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, if you haven't joined Alt Knots and her ghouls, head on over to her. Definitely take time to head over to her YouTube and subscribe, and make sure you have notifications turned on there as well, because you'll get a lot of good information there. She's absolutely great. A lot of people don't like how crochet stitches feel as socks, so that's something to consider too. Yeah, because it would be a little bulkier and nubbier for sure. I didn't even think about that. That is a very good point, Lillian. You're back to try to post on the show and tell. Crossing my fingers, Josie. I want to see what you're working on. Heel turns are your favorite part about a sock. Ugh. Okay, it's not the heel turn itself. I actually really like the short rows and the heel turn. I think that looks really cool and magical. It's picking up the damn stitches afterwards to connect it back to the cuff. I hate it so much. I'm too much of a perfectionist with my knitting that I don't like the little holes. I have to twist this. Do you hear how heated about this I'm getting? Woo! It's too much for me. Seems complicated sometimes. You think you're just not used to the small hooks. That is fair for sure. I personally recommend fingerless gloves before socks. You get to knit in the round still. You get a lot of the same, get used to a lot of the same stuff, but you don't have that heel turn. Use 2 strands of yarn if you want chunky socks. If you want to wear them with shoes, you just use 1 strand. Could we try Alt Knots sock pattern on video? Yeah, we could actually make that one of our Wednesday night patterns that we can try for sure. I would be thrilled to do that. So yeah, let me take a look at the pattern, figure out what type of yarn I need, and maybe watch her tutorials. Hopefully I don't cry. And we will definitely make those on the show together here sometime soon. You have yet to get to a heel turn. Matt, I have no doubt you'll be able to do the heel turn. It's short rows, which I'll explain to you. And if you have any questions about short rows, feel free to ask. Everybody here, not everybody, but the community will definitely help you out, and I'll definitely help you out with that as well. But it's picking up those stitches, and I think you'll be just fine at it. It's just one of the things I happen to struggle with. Can you guys see what this is doing, by the way? Isn't that cool? So that's what a rib stitch looks like. And I wish I was doing this on smaller needles so it was a little tighter so you could see what I'm talking about. When we work on the sweater on Monday, I'll definitely show it to you because the cuff has rib stitches on it. But in the meantime, if you're not a subscriber yet, you need to hit that subscribe button because the Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups is going to spin in just 1 minute. How can I show you how to knit in the round? Absolutely. So let's do that. Next week we're going to do that because as soon as we do Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups, we're going to go into stretching and then we're going to go into crochet. So let's make a deal. We will do knitting in the round and reading patterns next Wednesday. That'll be the first half of that show. And anything that we don't catch, we'll put onto the next one. I'm really digging this. This is awesome. Okay, it's time, kids. Wait, I pushed the button. There it is. That's why they started a swear jar. Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. It's time. It's time. So let me get the keyboard on your hands, honestly. Yeah, I feel people, it's interesting because some people feel like that's easier on their hands and other people feel like crochet is. My mother has arthritis in her hands and she prefers crochet just for that reason. Okay, who is our second contestant gonna be? So excited. Come on, you can do this, Nightbot. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with me. I typed !kitty. I don't understand where my brain is half the time. Cassandra, did you already, let me see if you're on here. I don't think you are, but I just want to double check before I say congratulations. Because I know you won something, but I think it was one of the, yeah, you are not on here, my dear, as far as I know. Just one sec. You are not. It was one of the Christmas gifts, the holiday gifts that you won. Congratulations, you are our second contestant on the Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. So exciting. Let's get that wheel up. Hi, wheel. Are you going to be nice this time? Because I don't like it when you're mean. Okay, so you guys know what's on this wheel. There's a lot of beautiful, colorful stuff. There's game over. La, la, la. I feel like he's making up for time now. Let's see what you get, who won? Cassandra. Cassandra won. I'm sorry. Let's see what you get, Cassandra. Free shipping. Congratulations.
Congratulations, you're a winner!
So close to a dad joke. You are a winner. Cassandra, please, please, please message me in Discord and I will get you a free shipping code. It's good for one time. It's a one-time use for free shipping, international or domestic. So yeah, the next time you decide you need some Boss Kitty yarn, shipping's on us. Wheel, that was much better. Thank you so much. We'll see you in half an hour.
See you later, alligator.
Hey, do you guys know what time it is? Because I do.
It's time to stretch.
You did, Yarn Pirate. Thank you. Okay, it is time for us to do our stretches. So make sure your butt's wiggling in your seat, right? I feel my spine sometimes gets really stiff, so I like to kind of move around a little bit. We're going to go ahead and do our neck again today. So we're going to go ahead and turn to the right and just kind of push with your hand. You can push with your left hand, you push with your right hand. It really doesn't matter, but don't let your shoulders get stiff while you're doing this. You're just going to push just a little bit so that you feel that stretch right here. I know that cat is so cute, Tina, right? Oh, that's perfect, Cassandra. I need to thank Mittens for talking to the wheel. Okay, we're going to do the other side. Just come this way. Stretch. Ooh, I can really feel it behind my ear on this side. This is my talking ear, too. You know, when you take your phone and you put it in your up to your shoulder like this, if you're talking on it, I still do that. It hurts. Okay, and so we've done this section right here, but we're going to also go ahead and just pull it to one side like this. You should feel this along your shoulder, actually. Breathe a little bit while you do it. Don't fall asleep, though. I'm going to come to this side. Yeah, this is the stiff side. Who knew? It's funny because it's not the side I sleep on. I sleep on my left side. I tried to sleep on my right side the other night. TK was like, no. He's like, this is weird. Turn around. I was like, but I want to sleep on this side tonight. He's like, no. So we've done our necks. We're going to go ahead and bring our hand forward. Hello. We're going to bring it across like so. And you're just stretching out that shoulder and that arm. Oh my goodness. Is that a Conathan? Hello, Con, you handsome devil, you. If you haven't met him, this is Con. He is our 8-year-old tabby. Oh, he's purring so hard right now. He's such a love, you guys. He's the chillest cat in the whole world. You have no idea. Look at this. Look at this goon. We're going to come this way. So come forward again and across. Hey, you talked to the wheel, right? Yours cracked, Elizabeth. Oh no. Are you okay? Oh my goodness. Make sure you kind of sit up straight while you're doing this. I figured out earlier, by the way, that it wasn't that I wasn't sitting up straight. It's that I had to tuck my tailbone in. Who knew? And then coming down forward like this, down forward. I'm going to extend my hand out. I'm going to take my other hand and I'm going to pull on the tips of my fingers, just like this. I know, he is such a handsome boy. He lets you nuzzle his belly with your face. He lets you smoosh on him. He lets you hold him. Well, he lets me hold him like a baby. We're going to do our other hand. So this one comes forward. Take hold of it like so. Like, he's such a patient little dude. Until he's not. And then he's a grouch. Perfect. Okay, just kind of rotate those out a little bit. Remember, we're going to go ahead and take our thumb and link it into the crevice of our thumb and pointer finger right here. And then you're going to take your other hands, your other fingers to the back side of your hand, and you're going to pull towards you. I'm not going to do this one very long. And then we're going to come this way. And I'm going to do one hand all the way through and then do the other hand. That's what I'm going to do here. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and flop my hand forward, and I'm going to come down like this. I'm just trying to stretch all around my wrist. Your wrists get so much activity. You have no idea. If you're knitting, crocheting, drawing, writing, typing, flipping people off, like all of those things. All of those things you use your wrist for. Okay, so we're going to hook our finger here and right here. We're going to come back like so. Good job. Yeah, he's the best. I love him so much. I don't know what I would do without him. And we're going to come back the other way. Just be really gentle with your wrists. Don't yank on it too hard. And we'll go ahead and do that top one right here. So flop it down. And then just use your other hand to hold it down, kind of. You just got off work 10 minutes early. God, that's fantastic. I would push the button for you, but I can't reach it right now. And go ahead and just rotate those out. There we go. We're going to come into our workspace, and we're just going to go ahead and move our fingers around. Stinky Kirk lets Smelly Ellie puppy chew and climb all over him. He is such a chill kitty. Chill kitties are the best. So Gracie is the sweetest cat, but she is high strung. Oh my God, I love her so much, but she's a lot. She's Siamese. I mean, she's very, very vocal. She's very attention needy. Like, she can't get enough. And she stresses out when things aren't the way she needs them to be. Which is why Con is perfect for her. And then Zuzu's our little punk rock kid. She is spicy. I don't know how else to put it. Until she's not. And then she's just mushy. She was like laying on me next to the couch while you were getting the show put together. Okay, so we've gone ahead and we've got all of our fingers and our wrists and our arms, and we're all wiggly jiggly, and we are good to go. Are you going to put him on the table? I don't think he will either. So we're going to say hello to Con one more time. Hi, buddy. I love you so much. Can you say hi to everybody? They're so excited to meet you. A lot of them haven't. Look at these paws, you guys. They're ridiculous. He's like, don't touch them, Mom. They look like human hands. So creepy. He has like these long, long little finger paws. Oh my goodness. Do you want under the chin? It's your favorite, isn't it? Oh, it is. It is. So good. You're such a good boy. He has Thanos chin. The little stripes. It's my little Thanos. You gonna lick me? Yeah. I love you. Okay, I'll see you after the show. Okay, so let's get into it. One of my sons is also a gray tabby. They're the best. Okay. So you guys, we haven't hit this for a while. I'm really excited. This is my Scrappy blanket. I have no idea how many squares are in here. Seriously, I don't. It's unknown to me, but it's a lot. I know they're in sections of 10, so we're going to count these up real quickly. And then we're going to go ahead and start working on it again. Here's the thing. Remember I lost my hook a few months back when I first started on this and I had to buy a new one? I can't find that hook. It's somewhere in this house. I'll find it. But in the meantime, I have to use this hook. And here's the thing about it. I finally figured out what it is. These types of hooks and the frills hooks, they have this indentation right here. You see how it divots down and then the hook happens? What I learned on does not have nearly as much of a slant. And I think one's called an inline and one's not. I don't remember. But it means that my yarn ends up getting caught on this more often. So we're going to try anyway. We're going to try to make this work because I'm stubborn. And I promised you guys Scrappy blanket tonight. But it'll be an interesting evening for sure. You too have a Scrappy blanket near you. That is a lot of squares. Let's count them. So each of these are 10. So we've got 10, 20, 30, 40. Oh my gosh. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. We're going to count these in hundreds. So there's 100 right there. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. These turned out so cool. 60, 70, 80, 90, 200. There we go. 10, 20. I ran out of the purple right there. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 300, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. We have 370 squares right now. I think I need like 520 or 510. I don't remember. But we're not there yet. So we still have plenty to do. I would really like to find more speckled yarn maybe to do these with. Like there's so many solids in here and I think I only have solids on me right now, which is unfortunate. TK, if you're still here, pop back in here for a second if you can. But if you can't, don't worry about it. How long did it take me to make these squares? I started making these probably in November, I want to say, and I don't work on it all the time. I go in little spurts. Like this is usually the item that I'll take with me to game night, as an example, when we're playing D&D, because there's small little squares that I can work on, and I don't have to take all of them with me. So it's a nice mindless project that I can work on for that. Can you grab me that bag right there, please? I'm very sorry. Okay. Sure. No, don't hand the whole thing to me like that. Anyway, so yeah, I'd like to get more speckled yarn for these, but that didn't take too long. Hi, Night Dominia. How are you? Oh my gosh, I can't get this thing to close now either. There we go. Okay. Oh, thank you. You're amazing. Look, more yarn.
I am amazing.
You are amazing. So we've got some blueberry blender we can work with. Ooh, I have more ectoplasm in here I can work with. Excellent. We've got more Tales from St. Olaf in here. And we've got some Buttons and Bravery. And then we've got some old school, This is old school Henson and Oz. What else is in here? I think that's it as far as the fingering weight goes. Oh, wait. There's also a little tiny bit of Sassy Pants. So was I hearing that right? Is this the color of the year right here? He's the best producer. I agree. Let's give TK some confetti. Okay. So, which colorway are we going to go with? I think we're gonna start with the ectoplasm or no, we're gonna start with this, I think. I know TK wanted to start with this, but I have so much pink and reds in there. I really want to start with the blue. So that's what we're gonna start with. Perfect. I just gotta find the right end. I like to use my cakes from the inside out, not the outside out. That's just me though. The patience for that many tiny squares, huge respect. Thank you. It does, I mean, I just mindless. You have huge, large collections of granny squares that you don't know what to do with yet. You should make a blanket. You'd make all the squares if someone else would stitch them together. So this pattern, apparently, once I finish all the multicolored squares and I get into the one-colored squares, there's a way for you to stitch it together as you're crocheting it. And I don't know if I'll do it that way because I'm kind of a big picture girl and these are still random. I kind of want to be able to block all of these separately. I think maybe I'm crazy, but you guys know me. I will do it. And then be able to lay it out to see how I want them laid out. So I don't know. I don't know which way I'm going to do it yet. Okay, so now I have to remember how the hell to do this. We start with our little slip knot. Pop that in there. What is the color with the pinks called? This is called Henson and Oz, and it has definitely evolved since this. We don't have it in fingering weight yarn anymore. It's just in BKDK right now. It is right there. That is how much it has evolved. It's insane. So this is probably a good 4 or 5 years old, honestly. And this is what it looks like today. Isn't that insane? It's so pretty though. So what's ended up happening is I've figured out how to not get my reds and my pinks to run nearly as badly. So you end up with a whole lot more of that creamy white in there. And you definitely get more definition with the color. I'm inclined kind of to maybe bring it back on fingering weight, but it's not a great seller. People are kind of afraid of this color. They either love it or they are afraid of it and they don't think that they can pull it off. And I guarantee you everybody can pull this color off. That's okay. I don't know what's in either account right now. You love tedious projects, but this is beyond your scope until you get feisty enough. You need a cardigan and Henson an awesome day. This is actually from the Poison Girls sweater I made and then I gave away eventually. But yeah, I kind of want to make myself another sweater out of it. It's such a great color. Okay, so I believe it's been so long. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And you come in here. All right. It's a slip knot. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you come in the middle of this. Wait. Then you come in the middle of this. There we go. Yeah. I remember now. This is how long it's been. It's probably been a good 2 weeks since I've worked on this. And my memory is not the best. But yeah, they're really basic squares. It's pretty hard to screw it up. I mean, you can, but they're so tiny it really doesn't matter because you can just go back really quickly and fix them. It's not like, oh my gosh, I've got to go back 10 rows. It's, oh my gosh, I have to go back a row, which consists of maybe 8 stitches. Yeah, it's so weird because like this, I mean, I'm getting better at it, I guess, with the hook, but man, oh man, each hook is different. It's so fascinating to me. You love that combo. Neutral skin tone is a blessing to rock stuff like that. I agree, honestly, like those really bright colors. And you know what's really cool about this colorway, especially now because it doesn't do it here? It's black light activated. Like if you take a black light to it, it glows. This green glows so hard. This one does it. Sigmund does, or Sigmund does it. Fairy Farts does it really well. Craft Girl Summer does it. And there's another one that I'm trying to think of. Final Frontier. Final Frontier does it too. This one right here. It's on here. Oh, and then this one also glows under a black light. I do too, crochet. Like, I have to say, I love all of our colors. Don't get me wrong. I love our solids, like they're through and through. And I probably use our solids more than I use our speckleds. But my speckleds are my pride and joy as far as my yarn goes, because I've worked so hard to get them to be truly speckled and not just kind of a runny mess. Right? Like, I feel like I see a lot of people's yarn where it's either very runny, which is fine. It's a vibe. It works. Or there's very little speckle on there, one or the other. And I feel like we've found that good, even medium section. And I love it. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do 2. And in here like this. Do 2 and then we'll connect it. My biggest issue is that I'm afraid these will be bigger or smaller than my other ones will be. That's really the only thing. I'll deal with a hook that is funky for me for a while. That's not a problem. You know, it's my own fault. 3, 4. It's more about, is this going to be much bigger than my other squares? Is it going to be a lot smaller? I guess we'll find out, won't we? Hey, Eska, how are you? You want to make a cardigan with As You Wish. Kayla, I love that idea. What is the color with the green speckles called? This one right here. This is called Buttons and Bravery. And it's actually a critter color. We were just talking about Mighty Nine getting their own show on Amazon. This was named after Not the Brave. So that was our knot color. We did a Wild Mount series. That was our first box set, and it was very ambitious. It had 9 colorways in it. And they were all beautiful. And at that time, we weren't sure how the box sets were working. It was just thematic, and we didn't sell them on the show or on the website. We only did them live at shows. And it wasn't so much that you had to buy the whole box set. It was you could buy whatever you wanted. It wasn't until the Golden Girl box set, the Stay Golden set, that we decided it was an all or nothing deal. Also, wish me luck at Yarn Chicken. I'm crossing my fingers for you. You can do it. You're still in the busy period of work. You know what? That's okay, though. Knot's one of your top 3. Rat, did you see the announcement today? Yeah, Sam's character in general, like that whole character has so much just a dynamic personality back and forth. And, you know, he's so goofy, you really don't expect that from him. And then it just comes out and it's natural and wonderful and beautiful. Okay. So far, so good. I'm not catching this nearly as much as I thought I would. You kick that chicken's butt. Okay, let's see here. So right there, these are the corners, and the corners have 2 double crochets and then 2 chain stitches and then 2 more double crochets, which I think is pretty clever. I've never made granny squares. These are the first granny squares I've ever made. So that whole concept was completely new to me. I was like, oh, that really makes sense. I never would have thought of that. Oh my goodness, I'm getting hungry, you guys. I didn't have dinner before the show. I had a piece of toast around 3 o'clock with avocado and a little bit of lox on it, and it was delicious. But that was like a long time ago. And I have to go grocery shopping after the show. So I have to find something to eat, or I will buy everything in the grocery store. That's just how that works. I would put it off until tomorrow, except for that there's no coffee in the house right now. It's actually very tempting to put it off till tomorrow, because I don't work tomorrow. I have tomorrow off because I'm going into Portland to get my tattoos touched up. And so that's like at 11 o'clock in the morning. Portland is quite the drive. And so I just took the day off. I suppose I could go grocery shopping in the morning. That is an option. I didn't even think about it. Wow. Thank you for talking me through this without even talking me through it, guys. How's the hook feeling? It's okay. It's better than it was the first time I used it, which makes me hopeful. Maybe I can buy Furl's hooks again because I really love them. I don't like the handle on this one as much. It's here. Let's grab one of my Furl's hooks because I only have a few. So these are my normal hooks, which has no handle grip on it. I mean, it's got the rubber and that's nice, but my hand does cramp with these. And then there's the wooden furls hook, which has this lovely, lovely, right? Like their handle's just great. This one's got a little bit of that, but not nearly as much. But this I catch on everything. And then this one has even more handle. I freaking love this hook so much, and I really want for it to work for me. I've used it a few times. I'm still getting used to it, but there's a reason I haven't gotten rid of it. So we'll see. We will see. I need to get one of their resin ones and see if that's the golden ticket for me. Figure that shit out. Okay, let me get this closed up real quickly, and then we will continue what we were doing. This hook was the ones you loved before furls. These ones right here, yeah. You love the inline hooks. You can't do tapered. You have a handbag in this print, really? I got this from a designer who did a trunk show with me. Where is it? She's on here somewhere. C. Jane So, but I don't think she's in business anymore. But it's a lovely little bag. I traded her some yarn for it because I did not have at the time a thing to hold my crochet hooks in, and now I do. And it has exploding TARDISes on it, and it makes me very happy. Okay. Just a heads up, you guys have 5 minutes until the final round of Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. That's it. Just 5 minutes. This night has flown by. The last few shows with you guys have absolutely flown by. Did you guys want to actually see in detail that picture behind me I was talking about? The one that my friend commissioned to have our characters made of? Because I actually have a digital copy of it. Because I'm that kind of nerd. She printed a fancy copy out for all of us for the holidays and framed it. And I was like, it's going on my show. I can't help myself. It's just going to happen. Yeah, see, I get caught a little bit on it. 1, 2, right there. You love all the furls hooks. Sometimes the wooden ones snag on wool, but it's not bad. You can manage. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, let me finish this round and I'll go grab it. I think I sent it to TK just in case. I was like, I'm going to give this to you on Discord so I could show it off. You're Susan Bates and Furls Girl. One of the crochet, on the off chance you use Prim circulars. Okay, let me find it real quickly. TK, where are you? Not that, not that, not that, not that, not that, that. Okay, you guys ready? Behold the amazingness. Isn't that so freaking cool? So she's called Corrupt Page. She has a Patreon. She's on Instagram. She's on Facebook. I found her in one of the groups I was in and showed it off to my friends and they all fell in love. And then one of them commissioned this piece, technically for our DM, who's her husband. But then, like I said, she printed it for all of us. So it is amazing. And yes, the Owl's book says humans are odd. So there you go. There it is. Time does fly for sure. You want to get some furls, but you can't choose. Isn't that amazing? Here, can you figure out which character is mine? It's pretty easy. You're a clover girl for knitting needles. You don't really have crochet needles, but you're going to start with furls. Definitely do it for sure. Mine is the blonde with the tarot cards. I mean, I feel like the tarot cards were kind of a dead giveaway. She's the divinator of the group. We're all wizards, though, which is kind of a problem, except for the grumpy little goblin that's on there. He's our bodyguard. Jessica got it, for sure. Finally home from work in time to get the comfy PJs. Oh, it sounds so nice. You were assuming the one with the tarot cards. You guys know me so well. We have Divinator, a Chronomancer. I don't remember everything that we have in there. I'd have to really look. I honestly do not remember what they all were. I think one of them's an illusionist. I think that's the owl. A little fey owl. Named Bartimus. Your husband's DM does cosplay every week and has very animated speeches. Emily, that's so fantastic. Ugh. Okay, so this does look a little funky. Oh, see, I did screw up. This is what I'm talking about. So I'm not upset about it because it's easy to fix. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, this looks kind of funky. What's going on here? And you can see I did 2 extra chains right here. So it made kind of a little hexagon. So we're going to just pull it back. Yeah, and it's a whole timey-wimey storyline. So it works out really well. It's been a little confusing in some parts, but good confusing. We just went back in time to grab a tooth that we needed. It's like a big tusk thing, right? For a thing we have to make. And the Fey Owl might or might not have stuck a vampire in his book briefly. And then let him go. And everything in present time is now screwed up. So we have to figure out how to fix that because it's real bad. We're like, we didn't do anything. And the DM's like, really? I was like, okay, maybe we did. Maybe we did a little bit. Guess what, guys? It's time. It's time for Wheel Goodies and Gear from Ups. Matt, you should definitely play. I freaking, like, seriously, it's my therapy. D&D is my therapy. Okay, so let's get this up real quickly. Back over here. I'm still in Discord. That's really funny. Okay. Pop all the boring stuff right there. You just finished your baby lovely. However, you just post on the show and tell where I was halfway on the That's okay. We'll ooh and all over it anyway, I promise. Is TK the guy next to you in the picture? No, that was not. TK does not play in that game, actually. Raw Meals, congratulations. You are our final contestant on the Wheel of Goodies and Goof 'em Ups. Okay, so let's get that wheel up. There we go. Here we are. Final round with the wheel. We've got all the good stuff on here and some of the bad stuff. Hello, Proud Aussie Man. How are you? Real quickly, just another quick shout out to all of our new friends and fam tonight.
Thank you for being a friend.
And I'll go over the wheel just one more time for everybody. So we've got Game Over, Yarn Tarot, Free Shipping, Dad Jokes and Adject Animal Sounds, Blinky Rolls, Ravelry Patterns for up to $5 and $10, and free merch codes. So let's find out what's going to happen for you, Raw. You haven't played D&D since high school? I feel ya. You get a Ravelry pattern for $5. Congratulations.
Congratulations, you're a winner.
That's fantastic. Katie Kitty's right. The wheel is totally teasing us with these dad jokes tonight, by the way. So Raw Meals, all you have to do is pick a Ravelry pattern out over at Ravelry, and then that's worth up to $5. And you can pick out 5 $1 patterns if you wanted to. You just have a $5 spending limit. Message me on Discord with your Ravelry username and a link to the pattern so I can gift it to you. Congratulations, and thank you so much for being such a supportive part of our Boss Kitty community. Okay, Wheel, we will see you on Monday.
Good night and goodbye.
Good night to you too, sir. And speaking of support, I just want to give a quick shout out to all our patrons, as always. If you haven't signed up yet, you can absolutely go over to patreon.com/bosskitty and sign up at any of our levels. We give out free tote bags to the top tier, I think stickers to the middle tier. Everybody has access to the extra content that we do, such as the Fleece to Fiber or Fleece to Finish project that we're doing this Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. This yarn back here is going to be grab bags. Those will be released to our patrons 48 hours before they're released to the rest of the public, and a lot of the time those sell out. So you guys get a lot of cool stuff like that. You get to vote a lot of the time on extra yarn that goes into box sets, and the last box set actually had a patron-exclusive colorway in it. The Doctor Who set might as well. So once again, that is patreon.com/bosskitty. And thank you to all of our Littermates over at Patreon. Okay, let me get Discord up real quickly, guys. And not in my character picture that I could stare at for hours. Here we go. Are you guys ready?
Time to clean up.
The grab bags will be available probably the beginning of next month. Not next week, but probably a week after that. I've just got to get them finished up. So here we are in Show and Tell. We're going to start with Fox Goddess, who, this is what she's made so far this month. They've made so far this month. 3 slashers. Second picture is the finished Candyman, which is their favorite. And the third pick is your Enid Snood. Awesome. We'll take a look at that in a second. Here are your slashers. They're fantastic. I love them so much. I love the pockets right here and the blood. Oh my gosh, these are so cool. Do you know how many of these movies I've seen, by the way? Just one. Just Scream. Oh my gosh, look at his bees. You're right. It's that might be the best out of all three of them. I don't blame you for that. The detail that's in your Candyman is too good. It's so fantastic. And I love the fur trim. Oh my gosh. And then this is your Enid Snood, and you used Karin Sprinkle Cakes. Oh yeah. I bet it's really squishy and lovely. Oh, I love the colors on that. It's very muted, which I think is great. Look at the little ghost face. I know, right? They're so cute. Because I didn't see my name and went to Patron and saw that my payment didn't go through. Oh no, Bubbles! Well, we could definitely get that fixed. Crochet Mom. The first picture is the sweater that I'm working on. Ran out of yarn today. Next is new one-weight mohair yarn that I have 3 balls of with no idea what to make, and a hexagon scrap yarn cardigan that I made over a year ago, my second ever wearable. The sleeves are totally different widths, but it's warm and cozy. So this first one is your sweater that you are working on that you ran out of yarn today. That's okay. You can get more. It's beautiful. I love those 2 colors together. I love the bumblebee vibe, obviously. It's really, really great. And I hope you can find more of the same dye lot. So mohair. So here's my recommendation with true mohair, where it's like a really fine lace. Hold it with another colorway. You're going to get a nice, what the mohair is going to do is it's going to create a nice white halo around whatever color you hold it with. So you could hold it with fingering weight and it'll make kind of a heavy DK weight as an example. Or if you hold it with worsted weight, you'll end up kind of with a bulkier vibe because that halo kind of creates its own stitch. I don't generally first time recommend knitting with mohair by itself though. It's unforgiving and it's very frustrating. So that's my recommendation regarding mohair. But if you can do it and you enjoy it, like it's a wonderful fiber to work with. And then here's your hexi-cardi. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. This gives me Enid vibes too. It's good. I like the 2 different colors. Oh, it does look cozy. I need to make one. It's just been decided. Lillian, making as much progress as I can on the hexi cardigan before I run out of fresh whip steam. Your colors are so great. They're very spring and bright, and I think that is fantastic. I love the lavender you have going on with this light baby blue, sky blue right here. Oh, it's so good. It is a really, yeah. You got a new debit card and you didn't link it to the Patreon account. Totally your fault. Well, I'm glad that it helps people see things like that. I didn't even think about that. I just wanted to give you all a shout out. Oh yeah, that palette is so good. I love it. Lillian, perfect colorways. Leela Blue Pins, finishing up my Daphne dress by Friday Knits, and my cat's thimble and bobbin using my hexagon cardigan as a blanket. Ooh, this looks cozy. This actually looks like it might have mohair in it. I could be wrong, but I do see a little bit of fuzzy up here. It looks beautiful. I've never heard of this dress before, and now I have to go check it out. And then here are your cat's thimble and bobbin using your hexagon cardigan as a blanket. Oh my goodness, look at those. Look at those beautiful kitties. Oh, what is it about gray tabbies? Like, they're just lounge models. Like, love me. I'm so gorgeous. You can't help it. It's so good. And your hexi-cardi's really, you guys are really inspiring me to make one of these. Like, gotta do it. I want one so bad. You love the olive color. Same. It is mohair sleeves. Awesome. Michibi, our Valentine's tree at our clinic. We dress up our tree for the seasons and holidays. Can you find my crochet items? Skirt and heart. Pick corner to corner. Granny stitch. Started today with new yarn delivery. One has to try it immediately. Right? Exactly. When you get new yarn, you have to try it out like that. You think you're going to make a lap blanket. I think it's neat that you guys take a tree and that you decorate it for every season and holiday. I have a friend who has her broom basically, and she's got it up on her wall, and she decorates her witch's broom for the different seasons basically, and the different pagan holidays, which I would love to do, but I have no place to put mine. It's in a corner right now. I do see your heart right there. It looks great. And then what was the other one? A skirt. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, there it is right there. There's the skirt. Well, hello, Zuzu. How are you? What are you doing? No, you can't have that. Look at you. You're so pretty. And then here is, oh, this is your new yarn. That's gorgeous. Yes, definitely make a lap blanket out of that. Baby girl, are you okay? You just sleepy? You just sleepy? Hi. Okay, let's continue with show and tell. Jinxie, it's been too long since I've caught a live. This is what's on the hook. Pura tea shawl in Lion Brand Mandala colorway chai. Ooh, all those purples are so lovely. And then number 2 is your wife gave you a birthday present early. You turned 31 on February 3rd, and this is the video game you met on. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. If you're here next week, I have a birthday surprise for you. Just a reminder. The Ultimate Final Fantasy. Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. Sweet, sweet gift. And then number 3, my non-yarn craft, customizing a Nerf gun to match the wedding colors for a wedding I'm in, and leader of the hunting party. I have written permission to get troublemakers and make people laugh with antics. Oh, that's fantastic. We tried to do this once for a steampunk thing. Remember? We tried to take a Nerf gun and steampunk it out, and we failed miserably. You and I did. Early on in this relationship when we went to Emerald City Comic Con. Yours looks much better than ours did. Also, I really, really like your keyboard. Zuzu is loving the mouse right now. She's mesmerized. Elizabeth, today I finished a baby blanket for my neighbor who's expecting a boy. Then you picked up your 10-year-old sobriety coin today. Wow. First of all, this is beautiful. This is one of the most unique baby blankets I think I've ever seen. I really, really, really love it. It's just gorgeous. Second of all, hit it, TK. Congratulations to you. Hit them both. Yeah. 10 years is huge. Pat yourself on the back. Be proud of you because we certainly are. That's amazing.
You're pretty.
Katie said you're pretty. Skittle Kid. I took some self-care days this week and I only worked on one thing and I love him so much. It's so adorable. Oh, it's so cute and wonderful. I love it. Josie, making a baby lovely, said it's going to have a baby blanket to go with it. And I finished my mom blanket here a while back, and she says it's warm and she loves it. So here's the baby set. Oh, it's so cute. I love it. You got the frog on there like a baby. Damn, your guys' crochet stitches are just perfection. I can't say perfection apparently, but perfection. You're not going to get it, Zuzu. And then this must be your mom's blanket. Oh my gosh, this is massive and it looks cozy and it's gorgeous. Emma, my super scrappy blanket I'll finish in 10 years. I bet you'll finish this in more than 10 years. Your scrappy blanket colors, by the way, are much better than my scrappy blanket colors. These are fantastic. I love all the hot brightness in them. I mean, mine will be a crazy mess of color, but I don't know. San Diego, Eska, some food projects to share. My last batch of buttermilk business. Oh my God, I'm hungry. Trying to perfect my technique. And a new jar of salt preserved lemons. Do you just eat them afterward? Like, how is that done? What do you do with salt preserved lemons? They'll take 3 to 4 weeks to cure, but are amazing on hummus. Oh. Okay, these look so good. You know, you can come to Oregon and just cook for me. It would be cool. I'd have no problem with that. Oh, I'm intrigued by this, TK. I kind of want to try it. I'm gonna. JK Knits for you. The question is, will I win at Yarn Chicken? And if so, I hope not by a lot. The last of the Advent yarn. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. It's so beautiful. She's gonna love her sweater. This is really, really cute. I love that it matches the blanket. Oh my gosh. The colors look so good together. And I love the chaos that it's involved in it. Some photos from my last LARP event. First, oh, this is super duper. First is me in the chair with my crafting competition entry. Second is a funny from Etiquette Lessons. And the last one is NPCs. Okay, this is fantastic. I can see the piece in the chair that is your crafting piece. I love your outfit, by the way. The capelet is wonderful. I also like the oversized dye in over here. I think that's really cute. Oh, maybe you're the person. I don't know which one you are. You might be the one off on the right because you're sitting in a chair. Who knows? I could be wrong. And then here's the etiquette one. Love it. Like the lobster on the head. That's very clever. I can't see a lot of it because somebody's in my way. Oh, there we go. That's really cool. And then here are the NPCs. Oh, NPCs. It's hard to play LARPing NPCs. You get no love, honestly. Like, people just kill you and walk away. Monster camp for sure. That's actually your friend? Seriously? Okay, super duper. Okay, so this one right here is you. I was going to say, I love your collar. Once I realized that, I was like, I think maybe it's the one sitting down with the dice. There we go. Okay, Yarn Pirate. Finally getting started on the make-along. Remnants of Tea Time of the Soul. I can't see anything right now. There's a cat attacking the screen. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Look at those stitch markers. How lovely. Oh my gosh, this looks wonderful, Yarn Pirate. I love the idea that we're doing this 6-month make-along so that everybody can do this on their own time. Like, I really think this is definitely the way to go. Well, I would say that that's the end of the show, but we have one little thing left. Come here. You get to end the show with me. Hi there, little moosey moosh. Hi, Mooshy. This is Zuzu, if you haven't met her yet. Zuzu and I just want to thank all of you for being such a wonderful community. We absolutely love hanging out with everyone. You guys are so incredibly just wonderful and very, very talented. And I love the support that this community has. Once again, if you're a patron, make sure you're here on Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific time for the next installment of the Fleece to Finished project. If you haven't joined Patreon, you're still more than welcome to do so. It's patreon.com/bosskitty, /bosskitty. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is definitely the time to do it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit the likes, please, because the more likes we have, the more likely we are to be in somebody else's feed. We will be back here on Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time with our make-along sweater. So I hope to see you all then. Until then, have a wonderful weekend. Cannot wait to see what you guys make in the next few days. And as always, my loves, happy crafting. Good night.